What's going on, everyone? How are you guys doing? It is Monday night. It's the go home episode of Monday Night Raw until WrestleMania. That is right. It is April 5th, 2021, and we are here. Today marks the week of insane wrestling all week long. We pretty much have wrestling every single day until next Thursday, aside from the Hall of Fame, which is tomorrow. Lots and lots and lots of stuff. So anyways, how are you guys doing? I hope you guys had a great night. The show was brutal, but I'm going to ask you guys, what did you guys think about tonight's episode of Monday Night Raw? Let me know what you thought down in the chat. And anyways, I'll go through and read who is here. How you doing, James? Philip, of course, is here. Cobra, how are you doing, my friend? Mason, Nova is here as well. I saw it first. Christopher, Ryan, Chris, good to see you. Matthew, Ashton Brooks, good to see you, my friend. Jan, how are you doing? My fellow disciple Flash, how are you doing, my friend? Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. Obi James says WrestleMania week, baby. Oh, God. Basilia, how are you doing, my friend? Knowledge, Divine, how are you doing as well? Ryan, good to see you. Shelvis, good to see you. The Saying Gamer is here. Punk is here. Love is here. How are you guys doing? How is everyone doing? Tonight's episode of Monday Night Raw was brutal, man. It was brutal. I know that this week's episode was taped. So if you didn't know that, well, I guess now you do know that. So this was taped sometime last week, I believe, because the Thunderdome is moving once again somewhere else, because I want to say baseball started or is starting very soon. So they needed their arena, stadium, whatever the hell it is that you want to call it. They needed it for baseball. So once again, WWE was forced to move the Thunderdome somewhere else. I want to say that SmackDown was recorded as well, but I'm not quite sure. I'm not exactly positive about that one. Not quite positive about that one. So we'll see. That show doesn't look any better, if I'm being honest, unfortunately. At least we have Wednesday nights, At least we have NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver nights 1 and 2 going down on Wednesday and Thursday. So that should be a plus. That should be a positive to look for as well. So something about tonight here. I have to be out of here in like an hour tonight. Okay. I have to around an hour tonight. I can't go much longer than that because I have so much stuff to do. I have to record the NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver Night 1 and 2 predictions videos. I need to get started on WrestleMania. And then I have to wake up stupid early in the morning because I'm driving. I have a meeting that's like an hour away. And then I've also lined up a camera purchase. That's right. I'm getting a camera tomorrow as well. So that is about 30 minutes away from that as well. So I have a very busy day tomorrow as well, but I will have a camera. So that is exciting. Marcel says AOW is Mania this Sunday. Raw didn't feel like it. I know, right? I know, it's crazy. Ashley says, it never goes an hour, but we'll try. I know. We'll try, but I gotta try the best that I can because I have so much stuff to do that it's insane. I wanted to get through it this weekend, but I wasn't able to. I have a lot of stuff going on, so I'm super busy. And tomorrow, like I said, I have to drive an hour to a meeting, and I'm tied up there for like 5 hours. Then I have to go buy the camera. Then I have like an hour and a half drive home. So it's a lot. it's a lot to do. Zach says that shit was taped and still got the thumbs up from McMahon. Also, Detective and fellow disciple Flash. Hello, Zach Stone, my friend. Always a pleasure to see you. Thank you so much for being a disciple. Zach Stone and Flash. Nova says, bro, so much wrestling. Moxley and Bloodsport, about 5 GCW shows, NXT TakeOver. Yeah, it's a lot. I was thinking about trying to reach out to Fight and see if we could do something for GCW because they have a huge collection, but I don't know. We'll see. We shall see. Manish says WWE sucks all your energy from your body. It really does, man. It really does. like 2 hours into the show, I was looking at the clock and I'm like, man, we got another hour left in this show. Like, this is nuts, man. This is nuts. Philip says, please throw up my comment. I'm not having a good day. What's going on, Philip? What's going on, my friend? If you don't mind, we're always here for you, Philip. We got you. Alex says, I named the post show. Yes. No hype for WrestleMania, man. And the Friday episode is going to be called No Hype for WrestleMania as well. And then I'll be retiring the gimmick. I can't go on. I can't go on much longer. So let's see here. James says, if the WWE universe does turn on Drew, that is the right time to bring back the Broken Dreams theme song. Sure. Yeah, you know, a lot of people think that there's going to be a double turn at WrestleMania, so they think that Bobby Lashley will lose his title and become a face, and Drew McIntyre will take the title and become a heel. But I don't know. I don't know what to expect, to be honest. I was kind of looking at the WrestleMania card, and honestly, I'm not quite sure what to expect from a lot of it. So what I was thinking was, I don't really think there's much news or anything to talk about off the top of my head. So what I thought we would do is go through Monday Night Raw fairly quickly and then just kind of chit chat a little bit about some predictions, what you guys think is going to happen for some matches and stuff like that. And we'll just go from there. And like I said, try to keep it around an hour tonight. Hoodie says, someone please help us with Raw being boring. I know, man. And it's WrestleMania. Christopher says, Friday's episode, no hype for WrestleMania Part 2. Actually, you know what? You just gave me an idea. Let me change the title for this show. Oh, can I? No hype for WrestleMania Night 1. There you go. No hype for No, actually, I'm going to keep it the same. I changed my mind. Already. Marcel says, prediction, Dynamite will be better than at least one night of Mania. Oh, yeah, I would assume so. I mean, you know, this Mania, it seems pretty decent on paper. So hopefully they're able to deliver. It's just the build for these shows have just been so bad, man. They Call Me Nova says, I predict Uncle Dave is going to hand out a couple stars this week. Let me get the WrestleMania thing. The 6-man. Yeah, I'm excited for the 6-man, but this is going to be the first week that I am predominantly covering NXT. So the show on Wednesday will be NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver Night 1. It will be dedicated to that. It will not be an AEW Dynamite post show, which is going to be kind of crazy. And then, of course, moving forward, Tuesdays there will be an NXT an NXT post show on Tuesdays going forward. And of course, we will continue to have the Dynamite ones on Wednesdays going forward as well. Alex says Mania is going to exceed our expectations. I hope it does. I never want WWE to just be so terrible. So I hope that they do. I hope they do great. I hope they prove us all wrong. And I hope that they do a very good job. I hope they put on a very good show. Flash has quick question. Will you be covering the Hall of Fame? I'm not sure. I know that my fiance will be watching the Hall of Fame, but I'm not sure if I'll be home. And I'm not sure. It just depends on what time I'm able to wrap the show up tonight and how far I'm able to get into these videos, because I do need to make all of these videos. And I have a couple posts that I want to do tomorrow, some by the numbers stuff. I did one today, if you missed it, for Raw, which I guess I can talk about before we get into the show. So I did a by the numbers for Monday Night Raw last week. And this is something that I want to continue to do the day after for every single show. So that will be Raw, NXT, Dynamite, and SmackDown and stuff like that. So we'll talk about that in just a second. But it all depends on what time I get home. JVOJ says, hey, OW, do you think the Bellas deserve to be in the Hall of Fame? Yeah, sure. I think that they belong in the Hall of Fame. I mean, what's the problem with the Bellas being in the Hall of Fame? Like, isn't Kid Rock in the Hall of Fame? Donald Trump is in the Hall of Fame, I think. Is Drew Carey in the Hall of Fame? There's a lot of people in the Hall of Fame that probably really shouldn't be in a wrestling Hall of Fame. So it doesn't bother me. You know, we saw the whole thing with Alicia Fox about a lot of people saying that she's not a legend and yada, yada, yada. The thing is that you can feel that way if you want. Like, I'm not taking that away from anyone, but WWE's descriptions of their people really don't necessarily follow by definition. WWE calls their wrestlers superstars. So, I mean, like, WWE has what, a handful of superstars in today's world at that. So I wouldn't really like look into it too much. Also, there's no criteria to being a legend in WWE. It's literally whoever the hell they want to throw in at whatever point. There's nothing to it whatsoever. So I don't care who they want to throw in there. That's up to them. It doesn't bother me. I'm not going to argue about it. But I do think, like, personally, I think that the Bellas did help women get into wrestling more, especially with their TV shows and their popularity and stuff like that, which is something that I don't think should go unnoticed for sure. Ryan says, if it were up to me, I'd have Rollins versus Cesaro open up the show on Saturday. Give them 20 minutes to go out there and put on a clinic. Would really put everyone in a good mood too. Yeah, and I mean, you know, Seth's Burn It Down music would be great. Would be great. I still, like, personally, I still think that Drew McIntyre and Bobby Lashley should open up the show. But if that's not what they're going to do, I think you're spot on with what they should do. I don't think that Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks would be a good show opening match either. So yeah, Cesaro and Rollins would have to be the number one pick for that. Ashton says, I have this weird feeling that Bad Bunny is being underestimated and he's going to shock the WWE universe like what Pat McAfee did. Oh yeah, 100%. 100%. Everyone says, I think I saw it on Fightful Select or so. Everyone backstage at WWE loves Bad Bunny. He moved temporarily to Orlando or whatever, and he's been training there for like 3 months. So don't sleep on Bad Bunny. I wouldn't sleep on Bad Bunny. I think that he'll have a pretty decent match, especially now considering that they've actually finally committed to making it a tag match. So I think it'll be good. I think it will be good. Nova says, I mean, each speech is like 5 minutes since they're inducting 2 classes. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. It's going to be pretty chaotic. Pretty chaotic for sure. Philip says, you know why I'm having a bad day? They said the Nexus is going to return tonight. What was, I didn't see them at all. They lied to my face. Yeah, Philip, yeah, sorry, bro. The Nexus is not returning. I'm not sure who told you that one, but yeah, the Nexus, there's no plans for the Nexus to be anywhere on WWE TV anytime soon, at least not to my knowledge. Ayan says, this show sucked. I don't know why the 3 hours were going very slowly. They really were, man. They really were. Raphael says, I'm just going to tape Dynamite and watch it afterwards. It's not a bad choice. Not a bad choice. I'm still going to watch both and I'm still going to cover both, but the things will probably be flipped a little bit. I might miss some Dynamite stuff. But I don't know, because the shows are pretty different in terms of like how they're structured. In Dynamite, it's a lot of like entertainment aspects to it as well. So there's always a lot of segments. There's a lot of quick things going on. The pacing is kind of crazy. For NXT, it's like a bunch of matches. So it's much easier to cover that. So hopefully it'll all be good. It will all be good. Okay, where am I at? Nova said, oh, I already read that one. And that one. Leroy says, the following things I'm typing are not on the WWE network on Peacock. SmackDown from 1999 to September 2019. NXT from 2010 to 18. NXT TakeOver Arrival to this TakeOver. Yeah, so they're slowly porting over all of the content from the WWE network to Peacock. They said that they hope to have it all completed by August. So before SummerSlam. I believe. They didn't give a specific date. They just said before SummerSlam. So expect things to randomly pop up around there. I think that a lot of episodes of Monday Night Raw showed up on Peacock today, but I can't be certain because I haven't checked for myself. Marcel says AOW should be in the Hall of Fame. Hell yeah, I should. That's right. Hell yeah. Ashton says Khali is in the Hall of Fame. Yeah, so, you know. You know. Van says, oh my God, bro, you were way behind on chat. Yeah, I scrolled up a little bit. I'm going to have to skip some stuff. James says, imagine if Rhea Ripley formed an Australian faction with Peyton Royce and Tony Storm. I hope that would make great storylines. Hey, I'd be down to see anything interesting with the women's division, considering that they got like 3 minutes on Raw, and I think they got somewhere around 3 minutes on Raw and somewhere around 3 minutes on SmackDown as well. I'll be posting that stuff tomorrow, some more by the numbers kinds of stuff and things. More so just because I think that they're interesting and fun, just to kind of see the numbers and how they do and how they kind of structure their shows. They won't be like crazy breakdowns like I did before when it was like, this is match stuff, this is commercial stuff, this is promo stuff. It'll just be the matches, and they'll just be compared each week. But I do think that there's a discussion to be had with the women's revolution in WWE, because they work so hard to do all of that stuff and yada yada yada, and now they've reverted back to 20-second matches, roll-ups and stuff like that. So something hilarious did actually happen for the weekend, or over the weekend, my apologies. NWA, or jeez, I can't even speak. NWO Virgil came at me, so that was pretty interesting. So now I can tell you that AOW is NWO Virgil approved. NWO Virgil approves of AOW. What a stamp. What a stamp of acknowledgement that is. Crazy shit, man. Social media, I swear. Nova says predictions. How many 5-star matches will NXT TakeOver have? A lot, man. Ryan says, I was there at WrestleMania 35 when Seth beat Brock to open up the show and the place erupted. I know his reign sucked, but it was awesome being there. I would love to be at a Mania sometime. I really would. Vanch, how you doing, my friend? Yes, a yo to you as well. Hope you're doing good, my friend. Hope you are doing well. Knowledge says, I'm glad the Bad Bunny match is going to be a tag team match because I was disappointed that Damian Priest wasn't going to get to compete at the show of shows. He's just too good. So from what I understand is that both John Morrison and Damian Priest had minor injuries or of some sorts. So they weren't quite sure if they were actually going to be able to participate. I'm assuming that is why they waited so long to talk about it, but I can't be certain. Van says, don't forget AJ Styles is the guy who beat John Cena clean after a banger at SummerSlam 2016, and now Vince made him lose by a roll-up. Yeah, so the interesting thing is that AJ Styles, I think, prior to 2 weeks ago, AJ Styles hadn't lost a singles match since October, I believe, October of 2020. So he went on a pretty good streak, and now he's lost twice. I saw first says Virgil. I seen him signing autographs at a local supermarket. He apparently wasn't happy with something that I said about TV shows and surprises. So it's whatever, I guess. Rocco says Jey Uso is 2-16 since joining Roman and is currently on a 14-match losing streak. Jesus. That's main event Uso for you right there. Jesus. Marcel says you need to see the AEW Road to YouTube video for this Dynamite. The JD Drake promo was incredible. I'll try to check it out tonight. I'll try to check it out if I have some time, depending on when we end here. Manny says, I'm surprised they didn't have Orton, Bliss, or The Fiend on the show tonight. Talk about built up. Yeah, kind of crazy, right? Kind of crazy. I was not expecting that. I thought that maybe it would close the show, but as we kept getting closer and closer, I was like, I don't know. James says, if you were the chairman, the women's division would be such good shit. Yeah, it would. Much better than what it is now. That's for sure. Nova says, imagine being in King Corbin and Virgil's cross-eye. What an accomplishment. Man, the people that get mad at me are trash. But I'm just gonna say it. I'm sorry. My beef list is trash. Absolutely trash. Well, me and Virgil have come to terms. He says that he approves. He approves of me. So we're kind of cool. But Virgil, King Corbin, Lindsay Dorado was mad at me, and Elias was also mad at me for some things that I said. It's trash, man. Absolute trash. Marcel says the Fiend match looks to be a normal match. Yeah, I hope that it doesn't mean that it's going to be a squash match and that they're just going to be running it back at whatever the next pay-per-view is. I hope that's not the case. Ashton says, dude, the such good shit voice through my headphones sounded so cool. The such good shit. Yeah. That high quality VKM soundboard right there. Yeah. We need Broken Dreams at Mania. Maybe afterwards. James says Gordon Ramsay would be mad at King Corbin if he was on the cooking show. Oh yeah, he'd be like, what the f are you doing with these steaks, King Corbin? These steaks are burnt to a crisp. We can't eat these. What the f is your problem? That would be Gordon Ramsay right there. Philip says, can you do this on microphone? We will fight forever. What do you mean? Raphael says, Raw tonight, Hall of Fame tomorrow, TakeOver and Dynamite on Wednesday, TakeOver on Thursday, SmackDown on Friday, Mania on Saturday and Sunday, Raw on Monday, NXT on Tuesday, Dynamite on Wednesday, 10 days. It's crazy, right? It is crazy. Flash says, why was Virgil mad at you? It was over something completely stupid, by the way. So on a recent episode of Chris Jericho's Talk is Jericho podcast, he said that TNT doesn't want AEW to do any more surprise debuts on Dynamite. And all I said was that I couldn't disagree. Well, I'll read you exactly what I said. I couldn't disagree with the idea behind this anymore. And I've talked about it very often. Now I understand the idea behind announcing things in advance. You announce Sting has signed, and all of a sudden you have a ton of people tuning in to see his debut for that night. My thought process has always been behind creating that must-see TV feeling again. The feeling that it's a live show and that anything can happen and anyone can show up. If you don't tune into AEW Dynamite weekly and you happen to miss Sting's debut, you're going to be like, damn, I can't believe I missed this. Maybe I should start tuning in weekly. To me, it's all about creating those big moments, and debuts are just an easy one to get people hyped up for and to keep them on their toes. Announcing everything is so boring. Don't focus on the now, focus for tomorrow. That is exactly what I said. And Virgil called me stupid. What'd he say? I'm trying to find it. What'd he say? Where are you at? He said, it's amazing how little fans know about the industry. It's incredible. I can't wait to expose the next 3 signees, and then you can address what you know into more than just a thought. So then I said, Virgil, don't do me dirty. Or I said, don't do me dirty like that, NWO, Virgil. I didn't even say anyone was right or wrong. I just simply said my thought process and to me. If you've got some knowledge that we don't, I'd be more than happy to hear your actual thoughts instead of you just saying we are all stupid. Then he said, well, let's be clear. You know absolutely nothing. And I said, thanks, man. I appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule to sit down and help educate us instead of acting like a 13-year-old with no profile picture and 13 numbers after their name. Now all of us can go to sleep a little bit wiser. Cheers. Then he said, okay, love your passion, baby. You passed the sniff test, champ. Keep crushing it. I just thought it was really funny. Punk says, damn sound effect. Yeah, man. Damn. We got it. We got all the fun here. Marcel says, wait, how did I miss this convo on Twitter? I don't know. It was on my Sting one. The picture of Sting that was posted 2 days ago. Nova says, what do you mean busy? I was being sarcastic. I was being sarcastic. Christoph says, so tell me why you're hating on WWE so much. Love your content though. Well, thank you for that. I appreciate it. So the reason why I am saying the things that I do about WWE currently is that I know that they're capable of much more than doing what they're doing now. So for me to see this content that they're putting out, it's not their best and it's not good whatsoever. So it's frustrating for someone like me who knows that they can deliver something really great. I know that they're capable of putting on great matches, telling great stories, and they have probably the best roster in the entire history of the company right now, and they're not utilizing any of it. So it's frustrating when we sit here and we see the same shit every single week amount to pretty much nothing, and it's so frustrating. So that is where my criticism comes from. I know that they're better, and I know that they're not working hard at telling the stories that they're doing. It's lazy. Absolutely lazy. Marcel says there's no comments on your Sting post. Yeah, there should be 39. Anthony says, did I hear you open a can? You did. I opened a little bit of the bubbly, but not Jericho's bubbly, just the sparkling water bubbly. There's zero. Weird. I can see him. Maybe it's just glitched out or something. I saw first as AEW stole Virgil's candy stripe wrestling tights and Virgil needs them back. Is Virgil listening now? I doubt it. Delay says, if they knew what they were working with Ricochet, they would be multi-time WWE champion right now. Yeah, it's just, you have all of these people on the WWE roster right now that are so talented, and yet you have Shane McMahon out here calling Braun Strowman stupid and covering him in slime. And then you have the Miz and John Morrison out here making poop jokes, painting someone's car, dancing around in bunny costumes. Like, it's not good. It's not good. And then, on the other side, they have the Hurt Business, which was easily the best part of Monday Night Raw. They sabotaged that for Drew McIntyre, I'm assuming, at WrestleMania. It's crazy. The Sasha Banks, Bianca Belair buildup has been trash. The women's division is in shambles right now, which is crazy considering how many people there are. The tag teams that they just continue to break up and act like they're going to do something with them as singles competitors, only to throw them with someone else. It never will make any sense to me whatsoever. They split up the Iconics for what? Peyton Royce never really did any single stuff. They put it with Lacey Evans. Billie Kay's been directionless, trying to team up with the Riot Squad, trying to team up with Natalya and Tamina. Now she's supposedly going to be teaming up with Carmella as a tag team. Why not just keep the Iconics together? Why? Vance says, Miz said fans have no idea how much Vince cares about fans. He replaced the word money with fans. Yeah, they don't give a shit about fans, dude. There's no way. If they did, they would realize that they're hitting all-time record lows for viewership. They're barely scraping by, so there's no way. And literally, I mean, I know that it's just social media, so social media is not necessarily the majority of people, but anytime I look at anything that has to do with Bobby Lashley or anything, it's like, wow, you really screwed up. Why'd you mess up the Hurt Business? Like, nothing is, it's not positive. Like, hardly anything is ever positive. It's crazy. Elvis says, since most of us knew Raw was going to be this bad, they should have just made Drew versus Corbin a steak cook-off match with AEW as special guest referee. Yeah, I'm down for that. I would have been down for that. Philip says, can you please go up on my comment and read them? I don't think I saw one. I don't see it. Go ahead and type it again. F Chef says that now when I watch Raw or SmackDown, I no longer think about what's going to happen or what could happen. I just think about if it's going to be worse than the previous episode. JVOJ says, even when EC3 was on the main roster, I was hoping he'd get pushed to the moon. Yeah, that would have been nice. Imagine having someone like EC3 on your roster and making him be a mute. What the hell? Flash says, hey, we gotta drop it here. Thank you so much for the show. Shout out to the guys in the chat. The man OC, the Fiends, WrestleMania entrance, screw Shane, and remember the Hangman fucks. Thank you for tuning in, Flash man. I really appreciate it. Thank you for becoming a disciple as well. I greatly appreciate your support. It means a lot. Ayan says, this Raw show sucked. The 3 hours went so slow. Yes, I agree, man. Jamel says, if AOW doesn't give us a steak cooking tutorial with a Sting mask, I'm going to be upset. I will 100%. I will 100% do that. I will do that for you guys. When I start doing camera stuff, I will do that. Because that's some high quality content right there. I'll do it. That sounds great. Basili says, and you can tell the divas they split up have no chemistry once whoever the women they randomly break up with. Yeah, it's ridiculous, dude. Vance says, there are rumors that Logan Paul will be the special guest referee. Yeah, I think that's what Dave Meltzer was saying or something like that. Vance also says, I don't know why we're people counting Raw on the Mania week. I bet most of us didn't even watch that show and we're dependent on you. Yeah, you know, I hear that that's the case with a lot of people. I wish I could do the same thing. I wish I could do the same thing. Cannon says, what match do you think will steal the show for each night of WrestleMania? Good question. The triple, you know, I still think that Sasha Banks versus Bianca Belair, I think that would be a really, really good match. So I hope that one delivers very well. I do think, okay, so I don't think this match will be crazy or anything, but I do think that Bad Bunny will deliver in this tag match. Cesaro and Rollins, I hope steals the night as well. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn is a great one too. There's good ones. There's good ones. KO and Sami, I feel like is a given. So I'd probably go with Cesaro and Rollins as like a one pick. Cesaro and Rollins would be my guess. Philip says, do this on a microphone. We walk alone. We are one. We are one. Here, I'll do it in my AOW mart here for you. We walk alone. We are one. We are one. There you go. There you go, Philip. What's Virgil's Twitter? I have no clue. I have no clue what his Twitter is. JF says, are you doing a live stream during Mania? Not during Mania, but I will have shows afterwards. Candy says, not gonna lie, I have a feeling that Asuka versus Rhea will slap. I hope so. I'm sure it'll be good. Like I said, I think most of these on paper, I think these matches will be good, but I just don't think that the build has been anywhere near what it should be. Elver says, NXT TakeOver is probably going to be better than Mania. I would assume so. Zach says, I watch Raw. I hate myself for it, but I tune in every week. I do look forward to this post show more than the shit show they call entertainment, though. Well, thank you, man. I appreciate that. It means a lot. And I also punish myself every single week watching Raw. Unfortunately. Sometimes I feel like, you know what? It's going to be better. Or you know what? Just don't pay attention as much. Just kind of hang out and do what you can. Do what you can. But, man, it's crazy. Marcel says, Hangman versus Omega is apparently the plan for Double or Nothing, where Hangman loses via shady ways to continue the story. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Not sure how I feel about that. I haven't watched BTE today either, by the way, so I'm gonna have to check that out probably tomorrow. I mean, I guess that's not the end of the world, but I would prefer for Hangman not to have another L to Kenny. Zach says, fortunately for you, it doesn't start at 1 a.m. and finish at 4. Yeah, that's true. Although, you know, I kind of wish it did end later because it would be so much easier for me to do this stuff if I was on the East Coast. Like, it starts at 5 o'clock for me. It would be so much better to do all this if it was at 8. Rocco says, I actually like that a lot because it makes Hangman depressed. It adds another side to his story. BT was short today. Yeah, I mean, I think that, you know, I guess it might make sense to do something like that so that you can kind of remind people of what's going on and kind of add more to it, I guess. Yeah. I'm excited, though. I'm excited for when that day comes. Ayan says, I think the Bad Bunny tag match will be a dead spot match where fans won't even care what's going on and they are just tired. I kind of disagree. I think that a lot of people will be expecting that, but I think that Bad Bunny is going to deliver. I think that he's going to kill it, personally. So, we'll see. Who am I going to face at Mania? I don't know. I would face Gold for everyone so that it would get him out of his second match, but you know, can only do what I can do. Philip says, the Nexus don't return at night 1, and if they return night 2, if they don't return, that was a sting. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, Philip, but the Nexus is not showing up at WrestleMania, not on night 1 or night 2. Rocco says Omega versus Okada, for example. Okay, all right, let's talk about that for a second. We're gonna go over an hour. We're gonna go over an hour. Okay, so Kota Ibushi unifies the IWGP Heavyweight Championship and the IWGP Intercontinental Championship into this new IWGP World Heavyweight Championship that looks like Cody Rhodes' tattoo, his neck tattoo. Then he quickly loses it to Will Ospreay. Okay. So now everyone thinks that he's going to lose it to Okada. And then Okada is going to AEW and take on Kenny Omega. James says goodbye. Goodbye, man. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you. Hopefully you have a good rest of your night. It'll be kind of, I mean, it makes a lot of sense to have Okada and Omega like do what they do best. Like, I'm not mad at that whatsoever, but I don't know. It seems like a lot of passing around the title for something. I mean, maybe I have no clue what I'm even talking about, and maybe that's just never even going to happen anyways. I don't know, but Ibushi versus Kenny Omega would have been great. Would have been great. Shelby says, am I the only one who likes the new title? I'm sure there are people that like it. I'm not a fan of it. Not compared to if it was a standalone belt, I'd probably still make fun of it, but they took away 2 beautiful titles. Like, for that? No, not for me. Basile says, I just won my March Madness bracket. I made 10 brackets. I knew one was going to win AOW. I won tonight. So big money, Matt Hardy. This is a promo shoot. I want my winnings throughout 2021 in any match I'm in. Do it, man. Big money Basile here. Congratulations on your win, my friend. Congratulations. Anthony says, how about that Xbox giveaway? What Xbox giveaway? Are you referring to the Retromania wrestling game? Because we already did that. We did that on Instagram. Jamel says, do you think Roman will get cheered or booed at Mania? I think he'll get cheered. For sure. I think they'll all probably get cheered, to be honest with you. Roman Reigns, Edge, and Daniel Bryan will probably all get cheered. The crowd at WrestleMania is going to be different, for sure. Not only is it WrestleMania, but it's the first time that fans are back as well. So it's going to be huge. It's going to be huge. The crowd is going to be insane. And I'm actually really looking forward to it because I can't stand listening to the Thunderdome anymore. It's driving me nuts. Driving me nuts. I saw first as The Miz on Thursday's edition of Jimmy Kimmel Live. This is why Bad Bunny match will draw. Oh, there you go. Tova says the crowd is going to be loud. Yes. Yes. Jamel says, do you think that Big will be cheered too? I'm not sure. I hope not. I hope not. No. Elvis says, which match do you think will open up WrestleMania on Saturday? I'm not sure. I'm not sure, to be honest. I think they're going to have a post or a pre-show on Saturday as well. So, all right, let's talk about this show a little bit so I can get out of here at a decent time. Chef says they took 2 beautiful championships and revealed the Divas Championship. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Drake says, how could you not feature The Fiend and Orton on the Go Home episode of Raw and probably one of the best and only storylines at the moment? I don't know, man. It's crazy, isn't it? It's so crazy. Marcel says, I wouldn't be surprised if they boo the entire show. I mean, I will be very surprised if the crowd hijacks the show. I'd be very surprised. If I'm guessing, I'm saying that no one really gives a shit because it's the first time back. That's my guess. I could be totally wrong. Perhaps they'll do it during the women's tag matches. There's 2 of them that no one really cares about. Maybe they'll do it during Shane versus Braun Strowman, the Choo Choo Man. I don't know. But personally, I don't feel like they will. I don't think so. I think that they're going to be insane, though. I think the crowd is going to be crazy. Vance says, hey, Triple H said that I was in contact with CM Punk a couple of years before CM Punk can come back only with his desire. I don't see CM Punk coming back, to be honest. I think he just likes to troll everyone. I think he gets a kick out of it. Shelby says, if Adam Cole loses at NXT, he is getting called up. Oh, that's going to be a crazy one, man. Adam Cole, if he heads to Raw or SmackDown, I'm worried. I am worried. Jared says, do you think they'll have Raw fans at the Raw after WrestleMania? No. It is just for WrestleMania, and then they're going right back to the Thunderdome. Knowledge says, I heard there were no kickoff matches this year. I'm not sure if that's the case or not. It could totally be. I know that they didn't want to have them for night 1 because they want the first time, the first entrance and the first match to be a big deal. So they don't want to have some sort of kickoff match that no one really cares about, because that'll be those first 2 entrances, the first match. So they want to go all out for it. Marcel says people will boo Drew if he wins. I feel. I definitely think that social media will turn on Drew for sure. I don't know about crowds or anything because it's been manufactured for a year now, so I have no idea what people are actually thinking. But social media, 100%. 100%. The social media fans turn on Drew McIntyre if he wins, which he probably is. Drake says, correct me if I'm wrong, but there were no DQs tonight. No, not to my knowledge, no. There was a distraction finish, but no DQ. They've been a lot better about that, but the shows really haven't improved that much. I saw first says, glad to see no Orton or Fiend on tonight's show after years of building this match. We don't need more of it. Well, from what everyone's been saying is that this isn't the end of their feud and that it's going to continue. So that's probably why it's not ending. It's going to continue on. Anthony says, I heard that SummerSlam there will be fans. I hope so, man. I can't wait for WWE fans to get back in the building because I'm tired of the Thunderdome. I can't take it anymore. It's the worst. Even like what AEW is doing with the small amount of fans that they have, it's a night and day difference. So I wish that WWE would figure out whatever it is that they can do to make something like that happen, because I think that it will change their product so much, just to be able to have that, like, a real sound coming through and not that manufactured crowd noise. It's not good. And it's so frustrating to see them like paint their own picture and everything. It's so frustrating. So frustrating. Ayan says, hope so. First match of WrestleMania Night 1 is going to be a banger, so fans get hyped. Yeah, I hope so. I hope so, man. Alex says, did you know it's been 130 plus days since the last Firefly Funhouse episode? I'm not surprised, considering that Alexa Bliss and Randy Orton were feuding for 3 months. So crazy. When Dynamite gets full fans back, oh, I'm so excited, man. It's gonna be so good. So good. Rocco says, I don't know how people can say the Thunderdome is good. I actually despise it. Me too, man. I hate the Thunderdome. I don't mind the look of the face, like the faces and the crowd stuff, but the noise it drives me insane. Drives me nuts. Vance says, any rumors for Blood and Guts happening or still a fan speculation? I don't believe I've seen anything online about it. So speculation at this point, I would guess. Philip says, a core picture at the end of the show. Yeah, if you don't spam, I'll ask chat, and if chat feels like you've been not spamming, then they'll decide. Sure, we can do that again. Van says, after this Mania week, watch Money Heist. Yeah, I was gonna say I certainly won't be able to do it this time, but Basili says, no, I hate the Thunderdome with the whole 2K booing soundboard. It is. I mean, I don't know if they've changed it, but there's an episode of Botchamania where they took footage from an episode of Raw and footage from one of the 2K20, and the crowd noise lines up perfectly because there's like someone coughing in it or something like that, and then someone screams something. They're perfectly lined up. So they just like took the audio files from their game and they're piping them in. And something interesting to note as well is that the wrestlers hear the Thunderdome fans as well. So they're not wrestling in silence. They actually hear the same thing that we hear. So crazy. The award-winning Thunderdome. Yeah, right. It drives me nuts when they say that all the time. I saw first as according to popular Dirty Sheets Patreon page via Sportskeeda, WWE plans to have the Fiend squash Orton in a relatively short match. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Not surprised at all. Charlotte Flair in the building says, woo, 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 woo. Philip says, last year WrestleMania, the Nexus is supposed to return in the Fireflies Funhouse. I could have seen that. Yeah, I wouldn't expect them to see them this year though. I saw first, did you get a chance to see Kong vs. Godzilla? Very good movie. I have not yet, but I really want to watch it. I really do. It looks amazing. Ayan says, the sound is so boring and they even force us to boo Roman Reigns and cheer not even our favorite superstar. And if you don't follow, they'll kick you out. Yeah, I think that's kind of annoying. I think that's kind of dumb. But I mean, I get it. They're trying to manufacture an experience. Delight says, okay, hear me out. Here's my theory. Bucks turn on Mox, do the sign with Omega and the Good Brothers. Then later down the line, Bullet Club shows up and beats up the Elite. Maybe Mox even joins Bullet Club. I would imagine that you're pretty spot on with all of that, except Mox joining the Bullet Club. But yeah, I am dropping fames. No, why? Come on, OBS. You could do it. You could do it. Kick back in. Get out of the red. Do I get like robot voicey or something when the frames drop? I haven't really. I mean, I guess I could just turn it on and hear it. See. No, it sounds fine. Sounds fine to me. Oh, it's buffering. So is that what the problem is? Come on. Get out of the red. Get back to the green. Marcel says Kathy Kelly is returning to WWE. What? No way. No way. Come on, OBS. You could do it. You can do it. Or maybe not. Oh, there we go. There we go. It's green. We are back. We are back. Okay. Should be sorted out now. Should be sorted out. Drake says, would you like to see Willow, Jeff Hardy versus The Fiend? Sure. Yeah. Sure, why not? We should be good now. It might take like a second to kick back in because I don't think you guys are delayed from me very much. I have it on like the fastest interaction thing so I can read chat and like interact as fast as possible. But yeah, it's green on my end now, so it should be good. Yeah, I have ultra low latency. That's what it's set up. Yeah. Anthony says tonight was not good shit. Yeah, I agree, man. I agree. Okay, so we talked about that. I do want to talk about the by the numbers thing here very quickly before we get into the show, because like I said, I gotta get out of here. Gotta get out of here at a decent time. Okay, so by the numbers. This is something that I'm going to do after every show, so expect one for Monday Night Raw tomorrow, and I'm also going to do last week's episode of NXT, Dynamite, and SmackDown as well. So here is the post here. Last week's episode of Monday Night Raw had a total of 40 minutes and 32 seconds of wrestling on the show, which is down from last week's 60 minutes and 10 seconds. So that is the entire show. The show breakdown in terms of matches and minutes was Sheamus defeats Matt Riddle in 12 minutes and 45 seconds. Braun Strowman defeats Jaxson Ryker in 2 minutes and 25 seconds. Bobby Lashley defeats Shelton Benjamin in 4 minutes and 15 seconds. Xavier Woods defeats AJ Styles via disqualification in 8 minutes flat. Naomi defeats Shayna Baszler in 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Drew McIntyre defeats Ricochet in 2 minutes and 55 seconds. And then Drew McIntyre defeats Mustafa Ali in 7 minutes and 52 seconds. So, 40 minutes out of, what is 60 times 3? 180. So 40 minutes out of 180 minutes is how much wrestling they had on Monday Night Raw. I haven't looked at SmackDown yet, so I'm not sure what it is, but I'll post all of them tomorrow. I'm just gonna dump all of them out. Ayan says, including the breaks in between, which totally includes 40 minutes here as well. So yeah, that's the thing, like about these, is that I believe these match times do include the commercial breaks. So if those are in between those, I believe those are included as well. I saw first says no 60-minute matches. Ric Flair is disappointed. Nope. No 60-minute matches. The longest match of the night was 12 minutes and 45 seconds. The shortest one was 2 minutes and 20 seconds. The women, Naomi versus Shayna Baszler. So in a 3-hour show, the women only got one match and they got 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Vance says 60 minutes and 10 seconds of wrestling, 59 minutes and 50 seconds filled with Hurt Business stuff, Braun and Shane's stupid segment, and 1 hour ads. Yep, pretty much. Gerard says, who y'all think walking out of the women's tag titles with Mania? I would say it's either going to be Lana and Naomi or Natalya and Tamina. That's my guess. That is my guess. Zach says, so Walter has been UK champion for 2 years today. I know the pandemic ruined a proper feud between him and Baszler, but do you think he would have dropped the title to Finn a year ago? I would say yes. I would say yes. That would be my guess. And I hope that it happens now. Whenever they can. I hope that it happens. I would love to see Finn Balor versus Walter. I think it'd be great. Marcel says, do one for Dynamite. I will tomorrow. I'll have this week's Raw posted tomorrow, SmackDown, NXT, and Dynamite. I'm going to dump all of those out tomorrow. I'll probably craft them up tonight and schedule them and just have them dropped out. Elias says, and they say AEW doesn't care about their women's division. Right. And I think SmackDown had 2 women's segments, or 2 women's matches, but I believe both of them totaled 3 minutes or something like that. So about 5 to 6 minutes total in 5 hours of WWE content. That's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Ayan says, why am I having a feeling that NXT TakeOver is going to be better than WrestleMania? Oh, it's for sure. It's for sure probably is. Rocco says AEW hired a new social media manager, thankfully. What do you mean? Were they like bad or something? Flair says AEW yesterday was my birthday. What's your favorite match by me? I don't have a favorite Charlotte Flair match, but I have a favorite Charlotte Flair moment. And that was all of the stuff with Becky and Ronda Rousey when they were like arrested in the police cars and she got like kneed in the face or kneed someone in the face. That shit ruled. That was so good. So good. Marcel says, have you seen the YouTube titles? No, I haven't. For AEW. YouTube.com All Elite Wrestling. Were they like really bad or something? They're terrible. Let me see. Was Matt Hardy and his new clients able to pick up the win? What's wrong? Oh, what's wrong with that? Marvel Swimsuit Edition. The House Always Wins special announcement. Who did Jon Moxley have to fight off this time? I don't know about now, but they used to be very bad. Jan says your fiance would be a little bit angry that why you're not giving me time and watching this 3-hour shitty show. Like, just joking. She used to watch it with me, but now she doesn't. Van says, you are lucky to be in the US. YouTubers outside of the US now have to pay tax. I mean, everyone has to. We have to pay tax as well. When I get paid from YouTube, it's gonna have to. I'm gonna have to like tax it myself, or I'm gonna get screwed. It used to be way worse. Man, I want to be AEW social media manager. What the hell, man? What the hell? Can you scroll up on my comments about the Nexus and John Cena and the Firefly Funhouse? I already mentioned it. The Nexus is not going to be at WrestleMania, man. They're not going to be there. Delight says, y'all made me think they were bringing out a YouTube championship. That's what I thought for a second. I was like, YouTube titles? I'm like, interesting. Okay. Interesting. There were applications open for it 2 weeks ago. Oh, I missed my opportunity. Rocco says on Instagram, they would always forget to post like matches when they post the full card. Man, I would have been perfect for that job. I would have been perfect for that one. Damn it. There's another one. Philip says it would have been cool, and we just talked about the Nexus last year. WrestleMania with John Cena with them would have been cool. Yeah, I mean, it would have been cool, but I didn't mind the Firefly Funhouse match. I thought that was pretty good. Jan says, why we didn't get any promo today from Randy, Alexa, or The Fiend? They're not having a stipulation. Yeah, just a regular old match. Probably going to be 30 seconds long. That would be my guess. Ashton says, YouTube titles? Matt Cardona wants to know your location. That'd have been great. Basili says, oh, you could have challenged King. Can't cook a steak, Corbin. That's right. I could have. That scrub. What a scrub. All right, let's get into this show here. So tonight's episode of Monday Night Raw was the last episode of Raw leading into this year's WrestleMania. The go home edition, if you will. And man, it was not good. It was not good. I'm sorry, but this was 3 hours of a complete waste of time almost. Almost a complete waste of time. So the show opened up with Drew McIntyre clothed. Thank God. Man's finally got some wardrobe here. You love to see it. Same promo he cuts every single week, essentially. But they mentioned so there's a lot of people in the comments that were saying that they say that Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair is a main event match as well. So I don't know. At the beginning of the show, they said that Drew McIntyre will face Bobby Lashley for the WWE Championship in the main event of WrestleMania. So take that how you want it. I took that to mean that they were going to be the final match on the card. I don't know. Everyone else saying they say the same thing about Banks and Belair. So I guess who knows at the moment still. Maybe it is still up in the air. Maybe they haven't decided what's going to open the show and what's going to close it. If you want my opinion, I think that Drew McIntyre and Bobby Lashley should open it. I think that's the match to do it. Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre can put on a good match. They both have great entrances, and I think it works. I think it works perfectly fine. Then you can have Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair be the main event, and then it would actually be kind of cool, which I think we'll save this for a conversation going forward about WrestleMania. If it's going to be, if WrestleMania should continue to be 2 nights going forward, and if it is, should both of the Royal Rumble winners get the main event slots? So should we always have a women's main event, and should we always have a men's main event? Only because, not for like some sort of equality shit or whatever it is that anyone wants to complain about, but just simply because they say that the winner of the Royal Rumble goes on to main event WrestleMania. They say that for the men's and the women's, knowing damn well that they don't typically go on to main event the shows anyways, but at least in this case, they could actually do it. How do I know the Nexus is not going there? Because why would they? And if they were, there would be rumors. There would be rumors about it. Obi James says he's wearing the same clothes from last week. Is he? Sly devil, you, Drew McIntyre. Trying to fool us with the same outfit? I see you. Ashton says the GoFundMe page for Drew McIntyre is working out quite well. I see. Yes. We were able to raise enough money to get Drew McIntyre apparently one outfit. just one outfit. Marcel says, see, but Sasha and Bianca haven't had a main event segment in any SmackDown. So, this is true. Philip says, good night. I'll see you on Wednesday and Thursday. Sounds good, man. Thank you for tuning in, Philip. Hopefully your night gets a little bit better, my friend. You're right, though. Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair have not had a main event segment on SmackDown. This is true. This is very true. So for me personally, I see the argument for Drew and Lashley closing the show. I see the appeal to Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair closing the show as well. And my opinion is that I don't really care, because I don't really care about either one of these matches in particularly anymore in terms of like story and stuff like that. So I don't really care which one opens and closes the show. For me personally, if I were booking it, like I said, I'd do Drew and Lashley first and have Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair close it down. Marcel says, fuck it, let Shane close the show. Oh God. Oh God. I don't even want to see it. Delight says, come on, Drew, you gotta wash your clothes, man. There's gotta be washing machines somewhere in Tropicana Field, right? You would think. Vance says a YouTuber uploaded the greatest Raw of all time for today's Raw. Oh my God. I would, how could this be the greatest episode of Raw? Man, I don't see it, but props to them for being able to enjoy the show. That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. So anyways, Drew McIntyre cuts the same promo he always does. Bobby Lashley comes out, and of course, King Corbin, SmackDown's own King Corbin, comes out as well. whatever. It's pretty standard WWE way to fill out the first 20 minutes of the show. That's fine. Whatever. I still have absolutely zero interest in anything that King Corbin does at this point. The guy's been booked like a geek. His match was pretty good. Tonight with Drew McIntyre, but that's besides the point. Alex says, wasn't this show not live? Yes. This show was recorded sometime last week. Yes. I saw first says, good night, see you tomorrow or Wednesday. Thanks for such good shit. Thank you, man, for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Have a good rest of your night. I appreciate you. I'll see you on Wednesday. Rocco says, if it ends up being 2 nights from now on, do you think they should keep them like 2 complete separate nights or have some on night 1 branch into night 2? I don't quite understand, I think, what you're saying, Rocco. What do you mean? Baszler says social media was so mad at Roman Reigns versus Edge versus Daniel Bryan being the main event that they called it racist as to why Bianca Belair versus Sasha Banks as the main event. Yeah, I'm not all for that. Vance says YouTube won't let me send the link. Really? I don't think I have links turned off. It doesn't let me. I can only like enable chat or turn it on slow chat. I can't do anything about links or anything on here, but it should allow them. But I don't know. You can just post their name if you want. Just search Wrestle Chatter. Okay. Yeah, I'll check it out later. Maybe. Marcel says it was 20 minutes. Damn. I don't know if it was actually 20 minutes or not, but typically that's the standard WWE formula for an opening segment. Somewhere around that. Jan says AEW Wrestle Chatter has 1 million subs and he is the India's biggest wrestling community YouTuber. Oh, nice. That's cool. That is cool. That is very cool. So the first match of the night was a rematch between AJ Styles and Xavier Woods. So for me, I was here. Oh, it's in Hindi, so I wouldn't understand. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. So I won't be checking that out. Anyways, so ran this match back. I don't know the exact time that was spent on this match. Somewhere around 2 minutes, if I had to guess. This match happened and I was grilling some chicken, like I was making dinner. So I went to go like stir some stuff around and I came back and it was like a Bad Bunny segment or something. No, it was Braun afterwards. And I'm like, wait, what? So I guess what happened was Kofi Kingston threw a microphone at Omos. AJ Styles got distracted and Xavier Woods rolled him up and beat him, which is absolutely insane because 2 weeks prior, AJ Styles was undefeated in singles competition since like last October. Roughly, give or take, because I don't exactly remember, but I'm pretty sure that it was October. So everyone was kind of curious to see why they were building up AJ Styles so much. And we were kind of expecting something important to happen. And that definitely did not happen. Did not happen at all. Vance says, you do not do that to AJ Styles, right? It sucks, man. It sucks. Obi James says, fun fact, the New Day will be going into Mania as champions for the first time in their career. Crazy. I did not know that. That's crazy. I did see that it's like the first time since WrestleMania 4 or something like that, that Triple H, Shawn Michaels, or The Undertaker are not on the WrestleMania card. That's crazy. Like, I can't believe that. How crazy that is. Absolutely insane. It's been a long time. Very long time. Next up was some very weird, awkward Braun Strowman segment here. Some poor souls at WWE had to construct a steel cage, put it all together just so Braun Strowman could have a segment in it. And this was all taped at the other place. So it's not like they could just leave it up and just use it for the match. So someone had to set this up, or more importantly, someone had to go find it, dig it up, build it, put it in the ring for this little promo to happen, only to take it down, move it to the next stadium, set it back up again for WrestleMania as well. Like, Crazy, dude. Absolutely crazy. So this whole thing, again, I'm not stupid, and Shane McMahon is continuing to say, yes, he is stupid. Crazy. Anthony says, wait, Undertaker was not at WrestleMania 2019. So not all three of them being on it, just one of them. Just one of them. Delight says, this Braun vs. Shane storyline is worse than Promised Neverland Season 2. I have no idea what that is, but I will take your word for it. This feud is terrible. So terrible. Like, I cannot get over how bad this entire segment is, this match is, this story. It's all so bad. And this was the point of the show. Well, I guess I'll talk about that afterwards because there's another segment between these. Raphael says, Braun saying that he's fighting for everyone that's been called stupid. Does he not know that literally every person who has ever lived? Yeah, I mean, who hasn't been called dumb at some point? Shit, people call me dumb on social media every single day. Every day. It's fine. It doesn't matter. Elijah says, the best buildup of all time. Calling someone stupid and he says, no you. Right? I'm not stupid. I'm a choo-choo train. I need a train on the soundboard. We need some choo-choos. I don't have that though. Marcel says Braun is just a big Eugene. Oh God. I loved Eugene, man. Eugene was great though. Light says it's a first grade anti-bullying campaign. Sounds like it. So, Braun Strowman was having a handicap match between Elias and Jaxson Ryker, but this was a real handicap match where they didn't have to tag in. So it was legit 2-on-1 the entire time. And they actually raised the cage, which I was not expecting. I honestly was expecting it to be a cage match. So I was like, damn, this is going to be crazy. That no one's going to care about a cage match on Raw, but they raised it up, so it was all good. Braun got the win over Elias and Jaxson Ryker in a couple minutes. So, meh, no one cares. No one cares. This did absolutely nothing for this feud either. So far in Raw, nothing good has happened. Nothing good. Next up, we saw a backstage segment here with Bad Bunny's Bugatti. So Miz John Morrison were walking with some buckets and some paintbrushes, and they went over to Bad Bunny's Bugatti and they wrote, hey, hey, hop, hop on the hood of it. And the Miz drew a little red bunny on the side of the car as well. This is supposedly supposed to be like a $3.7 million car or something like that they ruined. No, of course they did not ruin it. This was probably just some sort of stuff that they could spray off or wipe off. Which is fine, obviously. But it was at this point of the show where I was like, man, this really is ran by like some 6-year-old kids, isn't it? It has to be. If you have a group of little young kids, what are they doing? They're coloring on your walls and they're calling each other stupid. It was like it was like summed up the last two segments perfectly. It was like a sixth grader, or not a sixth grader, my apologies, a 6-year-old wrote this. How do you have a team of people book this? A team. I don't know how many people are on the Raw creative team or whatever, but man, come on. This is what people are coming up with? You're stupid? No, I'm not stupid. And painting on someone's car? It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing for WrestleMania season, man. They're capable of so much more. So much more. Like, we've seen The Miz be fantastic. We've seen it. But where is he? We just have poop joke Miz and poop joke Morrison? For what? Are they really just trying to appeal to the kids? Is that what I'm missing here? Is this not supposed to be for us adults that are watching the show? Because this is so bad. All of this is so bad. And I know that they have to cater to a wider audience, but like, man, back in the day when I was watching this, they didn't do that kind of stuff. Like, it was, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't have been watching it as a child. I don't know, but like, you can be PG or PG-13 or whatever it is without being so ridiculously childish. Like, I mean, they even have like kids movies like that adults enjoy because they're not so childish. Like, it's just, I don't know, it frustrates me so much when I just see like just garbage over and over and over that no real adult is going to enjoy, and no adult is going to act this way or anything like that. So it's just, it's frustrating. I'm over all of this. I was hoping that the Royal Rumble was going to be the reset that we all wanted to see. That sure as hell didn't happen. Things have only gotten worse from then to now. So I don't know. Maybe, hopefully things will change after WrestleMania. I mean, if they don't, I don't quite understand what to do going forward. Maybe it's over for WWE. Maybe they're just going to be in this rut forever. Anthony says the only way to start a feud is calling someone stupid and painting someone's car and to point. Can't forget to point at the sign. Can't forget to point at the sign. Elijah says the kids don't even enjoy it. I surely wouldn't. Van says, what is your problem? Why are you complaining? WWE is trying to attract 6-year-olds and less audience. I know, right? I mean, like, I knew that they would always have some sort of issue being like family friendly and stuff like that. And that's totally fine. It's totally fine. But at the end of the day, like, it's fighting, you know? So like, whether some of this stuff is appropriate or not appropriate, it's fighting, and you're still promoting fighting when you're thinking about like a child, right? So why does it have to be so childish? It's still a topic that is, I mean, I don't know. It's not, people can raise their kids however the hell they want, but you know, for kids to be watching fighting content, but then being like, oh, well, we have to do poop jokes and stuff like that. It's just it's a little much. I feel like we could get this family friendly stuff across in a good way for everyone that everyone can enjoy. And I don't feel like it would be that difficult. Marcel says, you bald head bitch. Yeah. And I mean, they like, even if they do cater to kids for some of it, like, that kid is not just watching this little 3-minute segment in the back with Bad Bunny and the Miz where they're painting his car. Like, they're watching these people beat the hell out of each other. They're watching these people call each other asses or bitches or whatever it is that WWE is saying on TV that day. Like, they're seeing all of this content. So why not just make it all decent? Like, you don't have to sink that low for the child audience. Elijah says you can still be family friendly and still be badass. Yeah, exactly. Leroy says, who else saw Chris Benoit's name on Peacock? I haven't even looked at Peacock yet. I'm scared. Jan says, I promoted your channel in my country. Well, thank you, man. I appreciate that. Thank you. Van says, we gotta appreciate Vince's guts. Showing this kind of stuff on international television is not a work of some ordinary person. I know, right? Man, I would be so ashamed to put out something like this. I really would. Marcel says, is AEW family friendly? It's TV-14. I wouldn't say that TV-14 is family friendly. I would say PG is family friendly. But you know, I think if AEW took away the blood, they'd be pretty PG. I don't know what the difference is between that, but to me, The shows seem pretty similar aside from blood. You know, blood, they use blood a lot in AEW. So I could see it having like that more mature rating and stuff like that. But I think WWE can achieve a similar thing even with a PG rating. They have to be able to. They have to. Evan says this show was dog shit. Can it be Wednesday, please? I know, man. I know. I hated it too. I hated this show from start to finish. It was terrible. Rock says a couple more swear words and middle fingers. So, I mean, not too much of a difference. Like, nothing crazy. So, WWE could achieve a similar product that could be watchable by kids without doing such childish shit all the time. I wish that they would do it. I don't want to see people paint each other's cars. I don't want to see people standing around calling each other stupid. I don't want to see a choo-choo express running around the ring. I don't think any of that translates. And if they have Braun Strowman do that with a crowd, I don't think that will translate very well either. If I'm being honest. Delay says all the blood in AEW is one of the reasons I keep watching. I think sometimes I don't want to say that they overdo it, but I definitely think that there's a time and a place for blood in matches, and especially in feuds. And like that Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa match, like I will never forget that match. It was incredible. And the blood visual for that, like really, really took it to that next level. Like that's how you know that they were out there like trying to beat the hell out of each other. They were both bloody. They're both trying to do whatever it takes to win that match. I think it really translated very well in that match. And, to see the visual of stuff like that is crazy. Crazy. And, a lot of that stuff, it doesn't really translate in WWE very well when you have these people having crazy no DQ matches and like nothing ever happens to anyone. Marcel says the Elite will become full heels on Wednesday. I hope so. I can't, more than anything, I'm excited for Thursday because I want to see Thursday, because I want to see how NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver Night 1 is able to compare to AEW Dynamite in the ratings on Wednesday. I'm very excited to see that. I can't wait. I'm so excited. I hope, for the sake of NXT, I hope that they blow them out of the water because that's the only acceptable thing. So that's why I'm very excited to see. Very excited. Let's see here. Raphael said, and they put the fact that they painted his car aside. Hey, hop, hop. Really get it because it's a bunny. Yeah, right? Lewer says it's been over an hour. I know. I can never get out of here on time. Delight says the blade job from Dustin on Wednesday was pretty unnecessary. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I do think that it was a nice visual compared to all of it, but I do feel like that was kind of unnecessary. But it's Dustin and Cody are always bleeding. Those guys will bust each other open for anything all the time. Rocco says, I've seen this post about the Elite breaking up story in Omega's character, and it's pretty insane the little stuff they do to make it feel huge. Yeah, actually, I saw something that the Young Bucks retweeted a couple days ago. I think something like someone went through and like took a deep dive for this crazy story about how the Bucks have always like put out their hand and they've been vulnerable to Kenny, but Kenny's never done the same thing. And they had like pictures from all of these things and like videos from all of these things of like proof of all of them happening. And I was looking through it and I was like, damn. I'm like, this is pretty crazy. This is actually insane. Like all of the little story and stuff in here, like things that I would never notice. So it's really cool to see them do that. It's really cool to see them, actually put thought and stuff into that. And I wish that people that do that and stuff like that, like especially Bray Wyatt or something, I wish that they would go through and tell you like the kind of secrets, or at least have someone do it. Be like, hey, I'm going to leak this information to you so that you can tell people, so that you can see like how genius this actually was and like how much thought and stuff was put into these. I would love to see stuff like that more. Van says, we will never let you go. Ashton says, we're too lovable to leave on time. I know, right? I can never get out of here. Can never get out. I'm going to be up all night. Making NXT predictions videos. Ugh. And oh man, all I want to do is play Outriders. That game kicks ass. Outriders is awesome, man. I want to do an Outriders game stream sometime. Maybe next week. Or I don't know, maybe sometime this week if there's enough time. If I can get these WrestleMania prediction videos done soon, maybe. Mike says Young Bucks should feud with Good Brothers for titles. I could see that happening. Marcel says if NXT does not destroy them in the ratings, then LOL. Dynamite has a big main event, but otherwise it's been an average show. Yeah, I agree. I was pretty shocked to see NXT's ratings last week. Their demo went up like 50%. Elias says AOW games coming soon. Yeah, probably after WrestleMania. I'm trying to get in a groove of doing things. After WrestleMania, there are going to be some changes to some things. I want to try new things. Like I want to post review videos and stuff as well. Like I want to focus on doing a lot more videos. And I'll have a camera as of tomorrow, I believe. So whenever I actually pull the trigger on doing the camera stuff, that'll be a lot easier on me as well. Because I'll literally just be able to like film myself talking and people can watch that, as opposed to me having to like edit these videos that people don't mind watching. So like I have like actual edits and put actual editing into them. So we'll see. Obi James says, gotta call it a night. See you on Wednesday. Thank you, man, for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Hopefully you have a good rest of your night, my friend. Basili says, AEW, you know why they do that? Because if you go back and watch the old Dusty Rhodes, Ric Flair, and Sting and Jimmy Snuka matches, they were always bloody. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I just think that there's a time and a place for everything, and I don't want them to end up overdoing it at some point to where it loses its effect. That's all. Jimbo says the Fiend character should be dropped. Supernatural characters don't work in today's pro wrestling. I disagree because the Fiend was the hottest thing in WWE. The Fiend was like the hottest thing in wrestling. Broken Matt Hardy was the hottest thing in wrestling in what, 2017, 16, 18, whatever it was. Broken Matt Hardy is pretty supernatural. The Fiend was money at the beginning. I do feel like the Fiend stuff does not connect as much anymore. I think that the supernaturally stuff, like the fireballs and the Alexa Bliss dropping the light fixture on top of him and stuff like that, I think that those are a little over the top. But yeah, I mean, the Fiend in his inception was perfect. That Fiend I think is completely fine. Today's Fiend, I can see why people would have a problem with it for sure. But yeah, Broken Matt Hardy was one of the top wrestlers of the year in 2016 or 17 or whatever it was. Still one of my favorite gimmicks of all time, probably as well. I love Broken Matt Hardy. Rocco says that explains why Matt was watching him with the Dark Order in the BTE episode. Oh, sorry. He also said, someone said that the stories of the Bucks and Kenny can't find who they used to be, but since the breakup of the Elite, Hangman is the first to find who he really is. Interesting. Yeah, I haven't watched it, so I'm going to have to watch it. Raphael says, as much as we like to hate our part-timers, not having Goldberg, Lesnar, Cena, Triple H, or Undertaker on the card has really hurt it and made it less special. They made WrestleMania feel like it. I would agree with all of those people being on the card except for Goldberg, to be honest. I don't think that he contributes anything. His matches are 3 minutes long. He has no love for the business. His matches are trash. I don't know. Jimbo says Roman is the hottest thing in wrestling today. Yes, but when the Fiend debuted, no. Mike says, where was the Fiend and Orton tonight? They were nowhere to be found. Nowhere to be found. Manish says the Fiend's momentum was killed by Gold and Seth Rollins. Can't forget about Seth Rollins. Delay says, can't wait for Hangman to kick out of the one-winged angel. I can't either, man. It's going to be so good. It is going to be such good shit. Can't wait. Cannot wait to see it. So next up, we had a can they coexist? Once again. But can they coexist? This time we had Rhea Ripley teaming up with Asuka to take on Big and Shayna Baszler. The sigh of doom, or the exhale of doom. Why does everyone have to coexist? And why does everyone have to coexist in the women's division? Why? Why is this a thing? And I'm about to blow everyone's minds. Okay. How old were you when you learned that Rhea Ripley was only 5 feet 7 inches tall? Is that the craziest thing you've ever heard in your entire life? My entire life has been flipped upside down because I could have sworn that Rhea Ripley was 10 feet tall. I thought she was a giant. An absolute giant. I am taller than Rhea Ripley. Never in a million years would I have thought that I am taller than Rhea Ripley. That shit is crazy to me. Absolutely crazy. I don't know why. I mean, they make her look really tall. I don't know what it is that they do. If they just shoot her from like a little bit lower of a camera angle or something. But man, she looks tall. She looks very tall. Ashton says she's not 5'7". She is 5'7". She is 5'7". Big is bigger. She's taller than Rhea Ripley. Marcel says it's the legs. Ashton says she's Charlotte's height. Oh, let me Google. Let's see how tall is Charlotte Flair. Charlotte Flair is 5'10". I could see her being 5'10". But here's what it says right here. People also search for Ric Flair. Ric Flair, it says 6'1". They say that Big is 6 feet tall. Right next to it, I'm not even kidding you, it says Rhea Ripley, 5 feet 7 inches. 5 feet 7 inches. Bro, my mind is blown. It says that Asuka is 5'3". You know, the numbers are starting to add up. The numbers are starting to add up. It's starting to make a lot of sense here. Bailey is 5'6" as well. Delight says it's the shoes. Oh, it could be the shoes. That's a good point. That is a good point. It could be the shoes. Van says, by the way, if your face doesn't match your voice, then most of us have to hide your face above the screen in chat. Fair enough. I know that feeling all too well. I know exactly what you're talking about. Raquel Gonzalez. Raquel Gonzalez is 6 feet tall. 6 feet. Dakota Kai is 5'6". Shotzi Blackheart is 5'6" as well. Those are just in the people who also search. Van says, bro, you won't believe I'm 16 and 6'2". God damn. My friend, you were tall as hell. Tall as hell. Lieber says Alexa Bliss is 5 feet tall. How tall is Alexa Bliss? It says that Alexa Bliss is 5'1". Randy Orton is 6'5". Sasha Banks is 5'5", and Ronda Rousey is 5'7". Those are on also searched. I don't know. It turned my world upside down. Turned my entire world upside down. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Anthony says, what? Delight says, man, I'm 20 and still 5'9". Seems like 5'9" is a very common height. Very common. But yeah. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. 6'7". What are you a giant, Anthony? Come on. What, we got like tons of giants in here. What the hell? Leroy 6'5". Good Lord. We got a bunch of Omases in the chat. God damn. Sheridan says, do you know when Andrade and Aleister Black are coming back? So Andrade was released. Andrade's free, man. He's supposedly, I think he was like teasing that he signed with someone else. Aleister Black, I have absolutely no like actual concrete news or anything, but I'm hoping that he comes back the day after WrestleMania on Raw or SmackDown, whatever show it is. Anthony says, how tall are you? I believe I'm 5'9". I believe I'm 5'9". Aisha says the Omos army has come alive. No shit. That's good Lord. Rocco says, I heard post-Mania, but I don't know if it was a random speculation. Probably speculation. I haven't heard anything concrete about him returning yet. But like I said, he did post a colored picture on Instagram and said that he can't wait to see us face to face again. So hopefully pretty soon. I'll be very excited for that. How tall is Omos? Good question. How tall is Omos? 7'3". 7'3". The Big Show was 7 feet tall. Ooh. What do I think about Dave Meltzer? I don't really have an opinion about Dave Meltzer. I don't necessarily care about what other people think about wrestling. I don't mind having conversations. Like, I like having conversations with you guys and seeing what you think and stuff like that. But if any of you were like, oh, well, I hate this and I hate that, like, I'm not losing sleep over it, you know? So I don't understand why people care so much about what Dave Meltzer says. I don't get it. I don't care what he likes, what he doesn't like. I don't care what he rates a match. If it's 10-star classic or if it's a 1-star, like, I really don't care. So I don't understand why people get so fixated. And it's even like, I think it's even weird for me that some people care so much about what I think. Like, people get mad at me because I don't like episodes of Raw. And it's like, I'm just a nobody. Well, why are you mad at me? Why are you mad at I'm just a dude on the internet. Why are you why are you angry that some random dude on the internet does not like a TV show? Relax. Like, I think you'll survive, okay? How tall is Rey Mysterio? Rey Mysterio is 5'6". Dominic Mysterio is 6 feet tall. Sin Cara is 5'7", and John Cena is 6'1". Those are the also search for. Rocco says, people get so mad about other people's wrestling opinions. Like, I don't get why they care so much. Yeah, I don't get it. Like, I love having conversations about it. Like, that's what all of this is about, right? Us having conversations about what I think about the show and what you think about the show, and just like talking about it. But like, if you say that you don't like a segment, or if you say that you don't like a character, like, that's cool. That's your opinion. You're entitled to your own opinion. And if you're respectful about it, like, cool, then I'm going to be respectful towards you as well. And I would expect the same back. Leroy says, everyone is entitled to their own opinion. You are entitled to your own opinion. Yeah, exactly. And like I said, if you want to have a conversation about it, cool. I love to have conversations about wrestling. That's what this is all about. But to be like pissed off and mad about someone, like, bro, I can't be bothered. I have so much going on in my life that I cannot be bothered with such a thing. So I don't get it. Manish says, it's still real to me. Damn it. Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one. I should get that and put it into one of these things.
sitting there, now Triple H will push me. I'm going to get the TV time now. I'm going to stand up for the team.
Yeah. I need the "it's still real to me, damn it." I need to put that up there. I need to. Mike says, has this been the worst road to WrestleMania? I would say so, yes. I would say so. Ashton says, I say something about Sasha Banks, then I get attacked by 50 Sasha Stan accounts. Yeah, man. Yeah, no. Don't do it. Don't mess with the Sasha Stans, man. You're not going to win. Delight says, that's my world champion. That's right, yes. Van says, you love talking about wrestling. Start talking to Soulja Boy. Oh, God. Oh, God. I like these. I think these are a lot of fun. Like putting these in. This one too.
Confused right now. Oh my goodness.
This could be the worst event in wrestling history.
I
I love it. I love it. I need to add more. So I'm 100% going to add the "it's still real to me, damn it" on there. That's great. That is absolutely great. Okay, what's next here? What is next? Oh, okay. So can they coexist? The answer is no. It could not coexist. It seemed like they were about to get the win here. Asuka was going up to the top rope, and for some odd reason, Rhea Ripley just pushed her down. Pushed her down to the ground and then attacked her outside, threw her into the ring. So for like the first time in a million years, Shayna Baszler was actually able to get a win, even though it was fed to her. But hey, Shayna Baszler actually gets the win. You love to see it. You love to see Shayna Baszler getting a win. You absolutely hate to see the Raw Women's Champion taking another L, especially the night, well, not the night before, but the last Monday night before WrestleMania. It's brutal. Ash says, if you're talking to Soulja Boy, have Randy Orton on speed dial. No kidding, right? What's Asuka's win-loss? Oh God. Do I even want to know? Do I want to know what Asuka's win-loss record is? Let's see. Asuka is actually not... Damn. Asuka is a workhorse. Asuka has had 31 matches already in 2021. She's won 16 of them and she's lost 10 of them. She has a 51... Oh, Jesus. Okay, so she's won 16, she's lost 10, and she's had 5 draws. That's crazy. Jimbo says win-loss doesn't matter in wrestling. Win-loss does matter in wrestling a lot. A lot. Eddie says, so Rhea Ripley is a heel now. I don't mind that she's a heel now if she is. Yeah, I mean, I think this would make her heel. Yep. And also she is going to have someone live perform her song. I'm not sure who the hell this person is, but whoever performs her song will be doing it live at WrestleMania. Jimbo says, why does it matter? Well, because it tells you how good the person is. I mean, imagine wins and losses not mattering in football or something. You know, you're world champion. Could you imagine if the Super Bowl was not booked by wins and losses, or like the tournament to get there? Could you imagine if it played no role in it and it was just random ass people? Could you imagine the team with the worst the worst win and loss in the whole entire sport, like winning Super Bowl? No, it'd be terrible. We just had the Miz as WWE champion. It's terrible. Absolutely terrible. And it may not be like a crucial thing. Wins and losses, WWE doesn't focus on them. They don't even necessarily tell you about them, to be honest. But from the outsider looking in, when I'm looking at people that do nothing but lose over and over and over again, it makes them look stupid. It makes them look weak. And I just looked up the Miz's 2021 record. The Miz has had 13 matches this year. He has had 3 wins and 10 losses. How does this guy, as your world champion, make any sense? How do you make any sense from that? And I will agree that they don't necessarily matter in WWE in terms of how they book their shows and stuff, but I think they absolutely do matter in the terms of viewers looking in, especially when we have assets like Cage Match where I can look this up instantly and get all the answers that I need. This makes people look terrible. This makes The Miz look awful. 3 wins and 10 losses. And so imagine you know nothing about wrestling as well. And you look at this and I say, hey, The Miz, WWE champion. He is 3-10 in 2021. Hell, in 2020, The Miz was 13-38. He had a 25% win rate percentage last year, and he has a 23% win percentage. Ooh, oh my God. In 2015, The Miz had 133 matches. He won 17 of them, and he lost 115 of them. Oh my God. He had a 12.8% win rate. Holy hell. Jimbo says win losses don't matter. What matters is how marketable the talent is. The Miz is super marketable, but he still looks like an idiot. You can't tell me that someone doesn't look like an idiot when they are 3-10. I don't care who you are. You look dumb as hell at 3-10. And I will even make the argument that if you're 3-10, but you put on 10 of the best matches in your entire life, I will feel totally different about that. Sheamus is a really good example of someone who's a loser in the past couple weeks, but he looks fantastic still. So he's always going out there putting his best foot forward, but he's just a little bit short. The Miz's matches are not. The Miz's matches, let's take a look at these. Let's see how long they are. 4 minutes and 20 seconds. 9 minutes and 5 seconds. 27 seconds. 3 minutes and 5 seconds. 28 seconds. This is The Miz. The Miz defeats Drew McIntyre in 28 seconds to win the WWE Championship. That's for him cashing in. Then he loses in 3 minutes. Then he loses in 27 seconds. 4 minutes. Like, the guy can't even wrestle for 5 minutes. You know what I'm talking about? Like, it's crazy. Charlotte Flair's record? It's probably not that great. Charlotte has had 14 matches, 4 wins, 8 losses, and 2 draws. What's Ziggler's brother's record in AEW? All losses, I would assume. Rocco says, in my opinion, AEW is amazing at doing the matches where, like, if Matt Sydal wins, he gets a shot at Jungle Boy and stuff. I definitely think that AEW is not perfect in their win-loss system. They're far from perfect in their win-loss system. There's still a lot left to be desired in it, but at least they kind of make it apparent. I like how they put their overall win-loss record in the company and then the yearly one as well. Like, I like seeing that kind of stuff. It gives you some kind of insight into things. And even for someone like me, like I tell you guys, AEW Dynamite is easily my favorite show of the week. I put AEW Dynamite first, then NXT, then SmackDown, then Raw. But even for me, someone that prefers AEW over WWE, I still can't be bothered to watch Dark or Dark Elevation. It's just too much. So even to see those win-loss records on there, it kind of helps. You know, when they tell me that QT Marshall has had 8 wins and 0 losses, I'm like, damn. QT Marshall out here doing the Lord's work, you know what I mean? So I think that it helps, and I do think it's important. I do. Let's see here. Van says, you know why Shawn Michaels and Johnny Gargano are called Mr. WrestleMania and Johnny Takeover respectively, as they always have great matches, not because they win matches. Yeah, it's to me, it's always about the good match. Always about the good match. The win-loss, I personally feel like wins and losses are important, but overall, it's the match quality. That's what people are going to remember most of the time. Okay, Humberto is the last one that I'll do. Humberto Carrillo. Let's see what his is. Not. You'll love to see it. Humberto Carrillo. Not even in the database. Let's go. Let's go. Not in the database. That is hilarious. That is hilarious. Ian says WrestleMania would have been a lot better if the weekend would have performed Blinding Lights. Man, it would kill it. Rocco says, I'm talking about when like Jungle Boy lasted 10 minutes and stuff like that, or if Matt Sydal wins, that stuff can make a star like they did that with Ricochet. Yes, I completely agree. Yes, I love seeing stuff like that. Jimbo says, what makes a match good? I mean, there's a lot. There's a lot of things that'll make a match good. It depends on what kind of style it is and all of that. There's tons and tons and tons of different styles of matches and things that make them good. Van says, Ada, I'm sorry, but I gotta pull it off. Are you saying goodbye? Is that what you're saying? DeQuavius says, breaking news, Daniel Bryan has been added to the Broken Skull Sessions podcast with Chris Jericho. Ashley says, Humberto deserves better for still being a young man. Elijah says, storytelling. Yep. Storytelling, good moves, believable finishes, believable false finishes. Well, I mean, there's a million factors and things that can make great matches. Rocco says, in my opinion, almost anyone can be a star with the storyline. Look at Hangman. He's not juiced up with charisma or an amazing wrestler, but he's likely going to be a superstar. Yeah, you know what? To be honest, like you make a perfect point about that, is that Hangman Adam Page, like I've known about him for so long. I mean, I saw his match at All In and stuff like that, and it was really good, but I've never been like, oh man, Hangman is the best. But the stuff that they did with Hangman and AEW with the whole drinking thing and all of that, like I fell in love with that character. And the Hangman character is just so good. So good. I love it. Ian says, we're going to talk about how this man AEW produces so good post shows even though the shows aren't that good. Salute to you, man. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Jimbo says, storytelling, relatable to the audience and controversial. I don't like to rely on the controversial stuff unless it's rare. Rare controversial stuff is fine, but if you start doing the hokey stuff and the controversial stuff too often, I feel like it takes away its meaning and stuff like that. So I would tend to stay away from things like that. Van says, Andrade, Cesaro, and Ricochet don't have a good win-loss record, but they still are not losers, and we know how important they are. Yeah, like you can definitely... I would argue that Ricochet is probably not on that list anymore. Because of how bad he's been booked, and but we know Ricochet prior to his current situation. We know that how amazing he is. But yeah, there's definitely a difference between someone who can put on good matches and ends up losing, as opposed to someone who goes for 3 minutes and just takes the L. Like there's two different things to me. Mike says Hangman Page will be the one to beat Omega for the belt. 100%. Yep, I agree. Rocco says, although many people might not like the Bucks, I think they have amazing near finishes. I love the Bucks, man. I've grown to like the Bucks a lot. I wasn't super into them at the beginning either. Before all of this, like I looked at it and I was kind of like, man, I don't get this. But when you actually look in and you watch them and you actually give the product a chance and the things that they're doing an actual chance instead of just dismissing them, it's great. It's great. I love it. Delight says Raw episodes feel like they were written the day of, while Dynamite episodes feel like they were planned months in advance. Yeah. I mean, sometimes Dynamite does have those weird things involved in them. But overall, the stories are there, and the entire show, for the most part, is always so story driven. When we're talking about AEW, like literally every single thing that's happening, you can tie it to at least one story, at least. And that's not going into more complicated things like when we're talking about like Matt Hardy and the Dark Order. There's so many different layers to some of these other things as well that it makes them super unique, and they play on that a lot, and I really, really like it. I really like it. Jeremy says Raw was trash tonight. It's been this way for months now. It really has, man. It really has. Jimbo Jack says Young Bucks shouldn't wrestle on every show. I would agree. I think that the more that you limit your larger players, the better it is for them. And you could take Roman Reigns as an example for that. Roman Reigns does not wrestle on SmackDown anymore. If he does, it is a treat for everyone. They did the same thing like when you go back to the golden days of NXT. It wasn't the NXT that you saw now where it's like, okay, Johnny Gargano has a match, Ciampa has a match, Dream has a match, like all these guys have matches. It was like some good matches, and then you had a Ciampa match, and it was like, damn, okay, I know that this is a big deal because this is the dude that only wrestles on takeovers. Or it's like, oh, Gargano's on. Okay, like I know what's going on here because these guys wrestle on takeovers. Anthony says, for example, Finn Balor. Yes, Finn Balor is another great example. Finn Balor's not wrestling all the time on NXT. When he does, it feels special. So I agree with that. I totally agree with that. Jan says Ali versus Riddle was good tonight. If they would have wrestled 5 or 6 more mins, the series of moves and kickouts. Yeah, I mean, the only thing that was kind of frustrating is that that's the 4th time we've seen the match within the past 4 or 5 weeks. So, Vance says, where is it? I don't think wins and loss records matter in wrestling. It could matter in football as the winner is not determined. I think that they should matter. And I personally think that they do. I think they do. Vance says for bad match quality, we can blame Vince taking away moves from former NXT stars is not cool. Yeah, for sure. Marcel says, did you see that made? What do you mean? Jeremy says the Fiend also, when he wrestles on a weekday show, it's also important. Yes, it is. And so the thing for the Fiend is that his matches aren't like that 5-star quality that you'd be looking for. For me, the Fiend is always about storytelling. If the story's there and stuff, man, oof, I am all there for it. Rocco says Rey Fenix, in my opinion, is the best wrestler right now. He's the workhorse of AEW. Man, Rey Fenix, I couldn't agree more, man. That guy is killing it. Killing it. I cannot believe how good Rey Fenix is, man. That guy is insane. Absolutely insane. Did you see the Masked Wrestler tweet? I did not, I don't think. I'm not sure. Chloe says, you're still live. We had a stream, so I didn't know how far you are into the post show. Yeah, I kind of need to wrap it up because I was only going to be here for an hour and it's 2 hours. It is 2 hours now. Yeah, so we're going to rush through the rest of the show here. Let's rush through the rest of this show here. So next matchup, I'm going to skip through some of the backstage crap because who cares at this point, right? So the next match that we had was Bobby Lashley taking on Cedric Alexander. This match pretty much went exactly how I thought it did, or how I thought how it was going to go, more so. It was good. It was good. It was a little bit longer than I thought it would be, but overall, I didn't mind it whatsoever. Bobby Lashley stands tall. He turns the lights off for Alexander and Benjamin at the end as well. So this is something that you can be happy. I mean, even though the Hurt Business is in shambles, unfortunately, it breaks my heart. It crushes my soul to say that the Hurt Business is in shambles, but at least Bobby Lashley can walk into WrestleMania not looking like a geek. Thank God. Thank God. So next up, we had a segment here with Bad Bunny and Damian Priest. Bad Bunny is not happy that the Miz John Morrison painted his car, and they beat him up backstage as well. So Damian Priest and Bad Bunny issued a challenge. So instead of the Miz and Bad Bunny, they want it to be Damian Priest and Bad Bunny taking on the Miz and John Morrison in a tag match. And they have accepted. And you know what? Vince McMahon is just like,
how do I reach these kids?
How do I reach these kids? With Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny. So now we got ourselves a tag match here. Damian Priest, Bad Bunny taking on the Miz and John Morrison. Like I said, I don't think this match will be anything crazy, but I do expect a lot out of Bad Bunny. I think that he's going to surprise people. A lot of people are saying that they're very surprised with how well Bad Bunny has been performing. The dude moved to Orlando for the past 3 months and has been training like every single day. So whether you are a fan of Bad Bunny, whether you like his music or not, whatever it is, you got to give the guy some props. He's coming in and he's putting in the work. So I'm excited for it. I'm actually excited for it. I'm not going to shit on it like I did with Pat McAfee, like I did with Shaq. Those always backfired on me. So this one, I'm actually looking forward to. Actually looking forward to this one. Ashley says we need a GoFundMe page for the Hurt Business to return. Yes, we need to get them like some therapy sessions or something, some family therapy. Ayan says Bobby Lashley matches feel like he's still U.S. champion and defending his championship just when he opens the shows, and he always feels like, and then he feels like WWE champion. Ashley says, remember when we doubted Pat McAfee? Look how that turned out. Yeah, not very good. Not very. I still think it was a bad look to have Pat McAfee go as well as he did against someone like Adam Cole. But man, he showed up. He delivered. He did a fantastic job. And then, of course, in the War Games match, he kicked ass as well. So, like, nothing but love for Pat McAfee. He proved me wrong. And I'm, like I say, I'll shit on anything. Like, I'm very open with my opinions. And I have no problem with being wrong. I have no problem with being wrong. I have no problem admitting that I'm wrong when I'm wrong. And sometimes I'm glad to be wrong. I would way rather prefer for me to be wrong and for something to be great. Like, that's a win for me, you know? I would way rather prefer to enjoy the things that I'm watching than to be right, because me being right about something sucking gets me nowhere. Like, cool. You thought it would suck and it sucked. Like, what do you get, a brownie or something? Like, I'd rather enjoy the things that I have to sit here and watch and cover all the time. Anthony says, AOW, what we need is a GoFundMe for AOW Underground. Yes, we need a small donation. We need a small super chat of 69 million US dollars to get AOW Underground off of the ground. And don't worry, not even in the slightest, because we will, of course, have Ric Flair. That's right, baby. Ric Flair will be there at ringside for every show for AEW Underground. That's right. Vance says, I told you we won't let you leave anytime soon. I know, man. I enjoy sitting here and chatting with everyone. It's always a pleasure. So, although I really would have liked to have gotten out of here an hour ago. Because that's just another hour that I have to stay up late. Rocco says, I already know Mania is going to be amazing. That's just how it is. I hope so, man. I really do. I hope so. And you know, WWE has had a pretty good track record of having decent pay-per-views lately. Aside from the last one was kind of like 50-50. So, you know, hopefully WrestleMania will be good. I hope so. Chloe says, Goldberg is going to the moon. Marcel says, I'd never seen the Attitude Era, but AEW definitely has a lot of chaotic energy. I mean, I don't think that... I don't necessarily understand why everyone wants to revert back to the Attitude Era. You know, yes, it was good, but if you ever get caught in that thing of trying to capture something of the past, it usually doesn't really translate very well. It usually doesn't work. So I think there's always room for evolution. I think that you should be changing for the future. You take Chris Jericho as an example. You know, he changes his gimmick quite often. He changes his character up, even if it's a little bit, when it starts feeling stale and when he starts getting bored with it. And I just think that's how it is. Like, nostalgia is just nostalgia. I don't think that, well, for one, we all know that the Attitude Era would not work in today's world. Everyone is very sensitive and times have changed. So a lot of that stuff from back in the day you couldn't air that on TV. There's no way. No way. But a lot of it was shit too. There's a lot of stuff in the Attitude Era that was not good. And I'm talking about match quality wise, storylines. There's a lot of stuff from back in the day that was just not good. But I think that the difference from back then to today is that the star power that you had. Back in the day, you had The Undertaker, you had Mick Foley, Mankind, or whatever. You had Kane, you had Shawn Michaels, you had Triple H, you had D-Generation X, you had The Rock, you had like just tons and tons and tons and tons of people to like overshadow these things. And when you didn't have this person, you had Eddie Guerrero, you had Chris Benoit, you had Randy Orton doing all this stuff. Like, you had the Ministry of Darkness here, you had the iconic feud between Stone Cold and Vince McMahon. So like, literally none of the show mattered because you got Austin and Vince McMahon sprinkled throughout the whole thing. And I think that back in the day, the characters were even larger than life. Like, even a lot of like the tag teams, like the Acolytes, like APA, they got over a lot. The New Age Outlaws and stuff like that. I think it's like, more importantly, I think it was the characters, because even in like your mid or lower card, like even those things were interesting. Like when you had the Godfather coming out and offering his opponent some hose to just lay down and take the L instead of wrestling, like that's unique and that's fun. I love that. I don't necessarily think that would apply today or work, but you could do like what Cameron Grimes was doing on NXT, where he's trying to pay his opponents to just go over the top rope. So I think back in the day, it was just so character driven, and it's not necessarily that anymore. It's more so just a bunch of dudes doing flashy moves all the time. So I think that's what the big difference is. Jimbo says even Rikishi had star power. It seemed like everyone had star power back then. Like I was just saying, like your Godfathers, your Val Venus, like even Val Venus was crazy, right? His gimmick was insane. Steve Blackman, like he was great. Kaientai was great. God, I'm just trying to think of like all these other people. Al Snow was great. Like you had all these people who were mid cards. They were the guys that were looking at the lights a lot of the time, but they were very entertaining and they were good at what they did. So it was still entertaining to watch. Vance says, AW, you want to play a game, play Getting Over It. It's a peaceful game. Yeah, no, thank you. No, thank you. I do not want to play Getting Over It. I want to go play Outriders. I love that game. It's been so much fun. Rocco says, I look back at the main events of old Raw and SmackDowns, and they were some bad matches, but the characters and storylines were making people intrigued. Yeah, I mean, when you have The Rock and Stone Cold as your main event, like, hey, it's kind of hard to complain about that. Marcel says, have you seen the Alexa Demon Bliss cameos? I have not. No. I did see that they did a partnership with Cameo for WrestleMania or something like that. Okay, so next up was Matt Riddle taking on Mustafa Ali. Looks like Mustafa Ali had some new music as well. It was kind of okay. Wasn't too bad. But yeah, this is the fourth time that we have seen this match. So we first saw it on March 1st, March 15th, March 21st, and now April 5th. It was a good match overall. I think this was easily the best match of Monday Night Raw. But good thing here is that Matt Riddle gets the win, and finally another champion looks strong going into WrestleMania. So Matt Riddle will be defending his United States Championship against Sheamus. I can't remember what night it was on. After that, WWE went down the match cards for WrestleMania over the nights, and they got to the Intercontinental Championship Nigerian drum fight match. And what they said on commentary, that it was a no disqualification, anything goes match. They did not say anything else about it. So kind of expect that. Maybe expect some people drumming in the background or ringside or something like that. But essentially, it's no disqualification match. So next up was the main event of the night, which was Drew McIntyre taking on SmackDown's Can't Cook a Steak King Corbin. This was a good match too. This was a pretty good match. You know, I say this a lot. Corbin is a very good wrestler. Has some very well protected moves as well. But the characters that he's given, or the scripts that he's given, or whatever, and the feuds that he's given, they just don't translate. And this man's been a king for like a year and a half as well. The King of the Ring gimmick, like, it should not last that long. It should not last that long. The King stuff is way past its expiration date. That's for sure, if you ask me. I would much prefer this guy move on to something else more unique, or just go back to the lone wolf kind of gimmick, because that was actually pretty good. So where it is now, I hate it, man. And this is the weirdest person to put in this kind of scene as well. And so one of the frustrating things about this was that Baron Corbin, you know, he had a lot of offense in this match. He was able to put in a lot of work against Drew McIntyre, but he wasn't able to seal the deal. So MVP gets up, who he was on commentary. So he gets up with his cane and he said, look, it's not about winning the match. It's about taking out McIntyre. So Corbin grabs his cane and then just gets laid out within like 2 seconds afterwards. I thought that was kind of frustrating, that they just waited so long to be like, hey, you don't have to beat him. You just got to take him out. Like, I loved the whole bounty thing, but I just think that it could have been done different. And I definitely wouldn't have picked someone like King Corbin to head that as well. It wasn't good. Jan says, okay, so you said today's going to be a 1 hour post show, and post show has been going on for 2 hours and 15 minutes. I just checked. I know, man. I gotta go. Warrior says, don't buy Corbin giving Drew as much trouble as he did when he can't win anything to save his life. Yeah, it's kind of brutal, man. It is kind of brutal. I don't necessarily understand it, but whatever. Anthony says, I accidentally hit the unsubscribe button. No worries, man. You can just hit it again and resubscribe. It's all good. It is all good. Marcel says, show subject to change. Rocco says, that's what I expected. I was hyped for the bounty thing. They picked King Corbin. That might be one of the worst choices, especially if they're going to obey this wildcard rule. Yeah, like, what's up with that? Come on. Like, don't make your own rules if you're going to break them. It just has never made sense to me. You're making these shows, so don't make a rule that you can't follow. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it whatsoever. It doesn't make any sense. Like, you can't be like, yes, these people are tied to these brands, but guess what? The wild card rule, baby. And 4 people can show up on any show whenever they want. Like, dude, no. No. Don't tell me that people are exclusive to brands. Just forget about it. Just don't have the exclusivity to brands. Just keep them separate for the most part, but whenever you want to, have people go over. Just don't make the rule. Don't put it in place. Jan says, my parrot is saying that tonight's Raw Riders were drunk and my parrot is going to bite and kill Humberto Carrillo. Oh, don't kill the man. He doesn't deserve to die. Good Lord. What is King Corbin's win-loss? Didn't we already do that? We already do that one? Baron Corbin. All right, so after I do this, I'm going to get out of here. I am getting the hell out of here. So 16 matches, 6 wins, 10 losses. 6 wins, 10 losses for the King. All right, so that is going to do it for me tonight. I need to go. I need to record these NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver predictions videos. I'm going to have night 1 up tomorrow. Man, I might put up night 2 tomorrow too. I'm not sure. They're definitely going to be their own episodes though. I might wait until Wednesday to put it up, depending. We'll see. And then I'll probably try to release the WrestleMania ones on like Thursday or something like that. I don't know. I'll see, but I got to go record those tonight. It's going to take, those videos take forever, man. They take forever to record. So I need to get started on that. It's already 10:30. And like I said, I got to wake up early in the morning. I got a meeting. Vance says, hey, OW, I have something that every wrestling fan will agree every single soul wants. Otis versus Carlito to main event both the WrestleMania nights, and Otis versus Carlito over Kyle O'Reilly versus Adam Cole. That'd be crazy. Ayan says 1 moon for me, and that's all I could ask for. All right, I got you, bro. Ayan Tannen is going to the moon. Ashton says, I need to go to bed so I can get up for school. I feel you, my friend. I feel you. I feel you. All right. That is going to do it for me. Like I said, I will have at least NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver Night 1 predictions video up tomorrow morning, maybe the second one in the afternoon. I'm not quite sure if there's going to be a Hall of Fame coverage tomorrow. I'm not quite sure. Not sure to expect that or not. I'll let you guys know. Also, there will be by the numbers for this week's Raw, last week's SmackDown, last week's NXT, and last week's Dynamite tomorrow as well. Content galore. Also, don't forget that on Wednesday, it will be an NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver themed show. So it will be the first NXT show. We will have that on Wednesday and Thursday. Then once again, we will be here for Friday. And I think we're going to kind of do a more so SmackDown WrestleMania hybrid show as well. Because I have a lot of fun when we do these predictions and stuff like that together. So perhaps we'll do that on Friday as well. We'll kind of see where I am at with these predictions videos and all of that. Then on Saturday and Sunday, we will have WrestleMania post shows as well. And there will be definitely going to be some posts about this Stone Cold and Chris Jericho thing that they have on Sunday as well. And Anthony says, hey, J Rocks. Hey, J Rocks. Hey, J Rocks. Van says, Hangman fucks. Yes, he does. Delight says, wasn't Carlito just on Sammy Guevara's vlog? I believe so, yes. Check my DMs afterwards. Okay, I will do that, Chloe. I will check them. Jan says, are you here for NXT TakeOver Night 1? Yes. This Wednesday will not be an AEW Dynamite post show. I am sorry. It is going to be the NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver Night 1 show. Next week on Tuesday, we will have our first NXT like standard post show. And then, of course, Wednesday, we will go back to having AEW Dynamite. So we will kind of see how that goes. Vance says, don't forget to check Money Heist or at least watch its trailer. Okay, I will check that as well. I also need to watch King Kong versus Godzilla, and I also need to play some more Outriders because that game is amazing. I love it. So anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me for 2 hours and 22 minutes when we have so much content to consume this week. Thank you guys so much. So, all right, I will see you guys tomorrow for the video, and then on Wednesday for the NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver Night 1 post show. Have a good rest of your night, and always thank you guys so much. I appreciate your support. Peace.